I think we're live.
We
Uh,
are live. How are you, Rene?
we're struggling. I know you know already, but those of you watching, we are super late because we've had a number of technical difficulties with microphone, with a second monitor,
Yeah.
but we're gonna make it happen today. So anyway, should be a good one. And I know, let us know. And you might, I'm sure people connected and then might have disconnected after not knowing it was starting, but we are actually live. So let us know if you can hear us. Send us a message. That'd be great. If once I get started, Margot, if you could check uh, the on your phone, make sure that sound is coming through.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let me mute you here though before, or mute yourself first before, because otherwise it'll run. But we're starting any second now. Second part of the of this multi-part training that I'm doing that is kind of our Christmas gift or holiday gift to you, depending on what the holiday you celebrate. But we're gonna start. I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and we'll go. If you can see the screen's a little weird, it is. I am sharing it right from the browser window because there's something weird with my external monitor. But we'll make the best out of it. Now, if you want to memorize that URL, you can go straight to the slides. But anyway, so today is episode 150, Launch Your 2021 VIP Coaching Program, Part 2. This is the second part. If you missed the first part, you can, after we're done today, you can go back and watch the first part on our Facebook page. Should be there. But so we're going to go ahead and get started. Um, First of all, like we always do, if you're a regular, you could kind of do snooze through this part. But we are we all here are dream builders, and that's the name of we give to anyone who joins our community. And you're in the right place if you meet any of these criteria. And I'm going to go through this real quick briefly because I want to get to the meat of the training today. Number one, if you're passionate about the products and services you provide and the people that you help, you basically do what you love. You want to create an online business that earns 10,000 or more stable income a month and that allows you to live that desired lifestyle. You want to build meaningful relationships and lead a community and grow your business on social. And you want to put the time and work it's going to take to do it because ultimately you want lasting impact, income, lifestyle, and fulfillment, long-term success. That's the dream that we're building here. So if these apply to you, you're in the right place. But before you start building anything, we want to show you the Dream Builders Blueprint. This is a blueprint that we've seen people follow before we even documented it, and also people who don't follow and have had a hard time with it because they try to skip a step or go in the wrong order. And these are building steps that you start one on top of the other. The first one is to design that dreams, lifestyle, and business that's going to fund it. Have an idea what your business you want your business to look like, so that it aligns with the lifestyle that you want before you start selling anything. Because the last thing you want to do is end up with a successful business that's not what you wanted it to be. The next is to promise and commit to deliver results to an ideal client. Yes, an ideal client. We're going to talk about ideal client today. So, what's your first stuff? What's the first thing you're going to sell? Is it one-on-one time? Is it a membership, a course? What is it going to be? Is it a VIP group program that we're going to talk about today? What is that one thing you're going to deliver? The next thing is to invite, reach out and invite trusting, sorry, tr- trusting prospects that need results. So I will pause from time to time because my throat sometimes gives out. I do talk too much all day long, every day. So sometimes I wear my throat. So excuse me if I do that. I apologize. But anyway, number three, again, reaching out and inviting trusting prospects that need results. So it's not a complex marketing campaign. This is where most people go wrong. You don't do that. You start validating your offer that you're delivering by reaching out to people. That means sending emails, one-on-one, sending messages, calling people, sending people a link to your offer to try out to get feedback before you start doing any massive campaign, because you will waste money, time, effort, and everything else if you don't do this step first, right? Once you gotten a few people through and you're comfortable, you could start systematizing nurture strategy, or how do you nurture prospects, right? You might create videos or things that will get people to start to like you, trust you, and eventually become clients and refer other people. So how do you nurture that so you can start focusing on how to systematically do that. The next and final step is grow. And that's where you could add attraction strategies. That's where you could run those ad campaigns or the complex lead magnets or different funnels that you might want to create to grow that existing income stream that you decided to deliver, or add new ones, right? This is the last step. Unfortunately, some people try to go right to this step and it doesn't work. So we do that every day because we see people fail all the time because they don't follow these steps, because they see some leader somewhere out there who's been online for 10 or 20 years, and they see them doing the last step and they figure, well, I got to copy what they're doing. And no, you don't. So we want to make sure that you don't get this wrong. That's what we cover every single week on our training. So moving on, I will get to the actual training now. And first, before we do that, go through the training agenda real quick. Last week on the 22nd of December, we covered program structure. I will give you a little bit of a recap today, but not too much. I do recommend you go back and watch that. Today, we're going to focus on client transformation. So what are you going to teach your client? What's going to happen to your client when they go from point A to point B? Next week, we're going to cover your launch, different options that you have for that, how to launch it, in what order. And then the week after that, we're going to cover the free session strategy for actually promoting your launch, for growing your VIP program. That's on the 12th of January. And today, so before we get started today, I'm going to give you a recap of last week. And I'm going to cover program structure real quick. And the VIP coaching program, basically, it's meant to hit three things. It's meant to hit one-on-one time, group coaching, and it's meant to hit also a membership that you can ultimately scale. So it's meant to take you, and again, watch last week, but it's meant to take you from really what I called the earn phase last week up to the scale phase, which is where you want to be for your business. And the structure of that program that you're launching, and you could definitely tweak this. This is just a boilerplate version that you can go with. It'll work. But if you feel like, hey, I'm going to tweak it a little bit, do a little more coaching, do a little less group, or a little more of this, or a little more of that, feel free to do what makes sense for you. But the way we structure this is you are, as part of your VIP coaching program, you are going to include 1 to 4 sessions, one-on-one sessions per month. And the point of those sessions, other than to help them solve the problems, is also to identify patterns of challenges or pain points that they're having. So for you to realize, and this is kind of like in hyperdrive here, this is kind of like the fast way to get here. I don't want you to spend a few months doing just one-on-one coaching. I want you to do it all together. It's going to flow together. So you're going to do that one-on-one. So I do recommend that you start with those sessions at the beginning of the month, and maybe the group calls is towards the end of the month or second and fourth week of the month potentially. And you're going to do group calls, and that's where you're going to cover some of the stuff that you identified with the one-on-one coaching sessions. And the point of this is to utilize those patterns learned in a one-on-one session and develop customized training for the group calls, right? So you're going to use what you learn in the one-on-one session. You're going to realize, hey, I think they're all struggling with one or two ideas. I'm going to cover that on the group call. And then the last part of the structure is the membership community. And yes, the goal is to eventually offer this by itself, the membership, but you're going to start offering this together as one program. And other than training and different things you're going to offer, again, watch last week, so you'll get more details on this. But the main point is to ask your clients to share their homework or parts of it into this community. So whatever homework you assign in the small group calls, you're going to ask them to share it into this. And the goal of that is to create a lot more activity from your members in that community, so that when you decide to sell this off separately, there is some life in that community, and that's the point. So this is the program structure. I'm going to go ahead and just to give you a recap, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the first part of today's training, which is something I call the consumer journey. I've yet to see somebody else teach it this way. If somebody has examples out there, then please let me know. But I think I came up with it. If not, I saw it somewhere. I'm not sure. So I'm going to give you with that caveat there. Ooh, yeah. So a journey consists of phases of progress a consumer will go through when attaining their desired outcome. So like the dream builder phases, for example. But it's a journey, and it's not your point A and point B. It's a little different. It's actually measuring one aspect of of that journey. Your clients could be going through multiple journeys. They could be growing, let's say if you're a fitness instructor, or they could be growing on their muscle development. They could be growing on maybe their endurance. They could be growing on their nutrition. So there could be different things that you can measure. And the idea is to go beyond simple demographics and have a better understanding of where your potential clients are at. So the idea is that you're going to measure a journey for the entire market, all the way from newbie all the way to advanced, and you're going to pick what's your ideal client in that journey. What is it? Just am I just going to focus on newbies and I'm not going to focus on anyone who's advanced, or am I going to focus on someone who's intermediate, somewhere in the middle? What of the entire customer journey, at what phase in their journey do you want them to be your clients? And believe me, this is better than writing down demographics like how old they are, if they're male or female. Yes, you want to do all that, but this is going a little deeper into understanding where they're at and what clients you're going to want and what clients you're going to say, hey, you know what, you might need to work with someone else. So start by choosing the important aspects of a client and define and name phases of progress. Like, for example, it could be the size of if you're a business consultant, it could be the size of their business. It could be how advanced they are in their marketing, if you're going to focus on marketing. It could also be how far ahead they are in terms of their sales systems, or how far ahead they are in terms of technology. So you can measure all these aspects about clients, potential clients, that may actually help you decide what level, and it's going to make more sense in the graphic that I'm going to show next, but what level I want my ideal clients to be in. It could, if you're a fitness instructor, their fitness level, their nutrition level. Are they already competing professionally in bodybuilding? Or they never worked out in their life, right? How far ahead are they in their journey? And maybe the awareness of the subject. Are they not aware of what you have to offer at all? Or are they someone who's already very familiar with the expertise that you have? Maybe they've been someone else's clients before. Where do you want them in that journey, right? So the idea is to have multiple ways to measure a client of where there are multiple journeys you're measuring. And let me go through an example. So we mentioned a business consultant. So example one, let's say you're B2B and you serve other businesses. Perhaps you want to measure their entrepreneurial journey, or how far ahead they are in their business, right? And I made up this journey. What I'm asking you to do is do the same thing for your expertise. If you're B2B, you may actually just copy this one, and that will be one of the things you measure your clients by. But that's not the only one. That's one of them. So for this one, we made up 0x, or the first level in that journey, is someone who's thinking about becoming an entrepreneur. Maybe 0.1x is someone who's created some sort of cash flow with their expertise or their business, right? Someone who's started selling something already, right? Maybe they don't have a lot of income yet from it, but they started to already. The next one is they'll be able to, 1x is they can pay their bills with their expertise. They're full-time. This is their gig, right? This is what they're focused on because that business pays for their bills. They don't have the lifestyle they want yet, but it covers their expenses right now. And 10x, obviously, 10 times that amount. They can afford a team members, and they have assistants. They have a large business. And 100x, obviously, is way beyond that. So what I want you to think is, this is one example of a journey. Where are your clients right now? Your ideal client. It's a client that's thinking about becoming an entrepreneur is very different than someone who's at 100x, and they're not just experts. They're probably coaching other experts at this point. So where is your ideal client? You may be a marketing expert. You may be a systems expert. You may be a process expert. You might be helping with branding and design. I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter. In terms of this journey, where do you want your clients to be at 1x? I'll tell you what, from our expertise, we're somewhere in the middle. From 0.1x all the way to 10x is probably, or maybe 5 is where we want our clients to be. But anything, if they're just thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, they don't have their expertise yet. They can't launch a course yet. They can't launch a membership yet. That's not our ideal client. So even though I drew the entire journey, I'm only taking a subset of it and saying this is where our ideal client is. Someone who's outside of that subset is not my client. And that's what I want you to do. An example of Maybe you're B2C, maybe you're a fitness professional. Maybe the first level is a newbie, has never worked out but wants to, right? Maybe the next one's some timer. And we made these up, right? Take this as a template and make them up for you. Some timers works out once in a while. Action taker takes action but gets very little results. Advanced got some results but looking to go the extra mile. Helper starting to help others with their fitness, right? So where do you want if you're a fitness professional, where do you want your clients to be? A newbie, an action taker, but an advanced? And this is going to be a little better at this side. Me explaining why this is important. If I decide I'm going to work with newbies and some timers, my training is going to be very different than if I decide to train or help someone who's advanced or you're at the helper level. So it depends on where. Maybe I just want to focus on newbies. I want to teach the basics. If that's it, then guess what? For this journey, even though you drew the whole journey, you're only going to maybe focus on newbies and some timers. Or you might say, hey, you know what? I don't want anyone below action taker. I want someone who's at least an action taker or above. That's your choice, depending on who you want to help with and what you're excited about and where your expertise is at. Because someone who's already at the far right, you may say, hey, you know what? That's not, they know too much already. That's not who I want to help. Or someone who's a newbie, you may say, hey, you know what? They need motivation. I'm not doing motivation. I want someone who's already taken action. So you decide, even though you're drawing the whole journey, you decide the subset of the journey you're going to focus on. And believe me, this helps you. I cannot say this enough. This helps you 100 times more than knowing their age, knowing if they're male or female. And you want to know that. I'm not saying you don't, but this is much more helpful because from this, you're going to go, okay, I'm going to create a program, this VIP coaching program. What am I going to focus on? And we're going to go through that in a second, but what am I going to focus on? If I got to know if I chose action taker and advanced as the two groups that I'm focusing on, the training that I'm going to develop is going to be for those two groups. It's not going to talk about newbie stuff, and it's not going to talk about stuff that's already for someone who's a helper. It's not going to worry about that. I'm just going to focus on these two groups. So it's important that you know that. But this is fitness, right? Fitness level. I could also be measuring their nutrition level. If I'm including that in my program, it may be good for me to know that, right? Are they someone who's never controlled their diet before, or someone who's very disciplined, right? I can create a whole new journey and decide, just like I'm deciding for this, what's my subset. And I do this with people I'm working with one-on-one because I know when they're doing their training or they're creating their videos, it's important to know, who am I talking to? What are they going through right now? And if I don't do this, I don't know. So this is just, like I said, it's a template. You do your own work. It may take a couple hours. I really highly recommend that you do this. Now, so we're going to move on to why it's going to make sense to do this. The next thing is something I called a success path. This is that I didn't make this up. This is something other people are doing as well. And the success path is really that transformation, right? It's 3 to 5 steps or pillars that your ideal client must take to achieve desired success. Okay, this comes second. You don't do this first, because I'm going to go back to the other slide. If you're deciding 3 to 5 steps or pillars that your ideal client must take to achieve desired success, they're going to be different depending on what group you chose. If you're working with newbies and some timers, their 3 to 5 steps are different than you're working with someone who's an action taker or an advanced person, right? So it's clear you need to do this part of the journeys first. Then you can go ahead and decide what are the 3 to 5 steps or pillars that your ideal client must take to achieve desired success. And the reason why you want to do this, it's going to be the source of all your content. Any giveaways or lead magnets, they're going to be somewhere in those 3 to 5 steps or pillars. Any courses that you create, they're going to be somewhere in those pillars. Any ongoing training that you create, they're going to be a subset. It doesn't mean you're going to pick 1 out of 5. It could be a subset of 5. Any one-on-one or group coaching program. This VIP coaching program that I'm talking to you about, encouraging you to launch, needs to be based on something like this. So this is a step you don't want to skip. Otherwise, you're going to start the program. Either you're not going to start it because you don't feel confident, and you shouldn't, or you're going to start the program because you're overconfident, and you're going to wonder, okay, it's week 1. Week 1's training is due tomorrow. I gotta. Where do I start? You do not want to end in that situation. you want this to be defined, not necessarily in detail, but at least at a high level before you launch your program. And what's great is you can talk about these 5 steps in your sales video. You can say, hey, we're going to go through these 5 pillars that takes to go from a newbie entrepreneur to whatever it is, to the other side, wherever you're taking them, right? And so how do I do this? Okay, and I've done this multiple times with people who don't have these defined. You need to brainstorm. Start jotting down everything you think that person that you selected, that person in that journey, right? Either the newbie or the action take, whatever you chose in that journey. What do they need to succeed? What do they need to go to the next level? Start writing down everything they need to know that you are willing to teach them, right? Don't talk about stuff you're not ready to teach, but everything they need to know, or everything you want to teach as well. Every concept you want to teach, just throw it on a whiteboard, on a piece of paper, or in a document, and then start organizing it into steps or categories. What are the patterns, right? It looks like, this is all training mechanics, right? Or boom, this is all the mindset of someone who's wants to get fit, right? Maybe I start grouping all the topics into categories of that category. These are all topics about nutrition and calorie counting and all that. I'm going to put this into diet category or nutrition or whatever you want to call that subset. So start organizing it into subcategories. And then ask yourself, okay, I got my 3 to 5 categories. Is there anything I want to teach that's not in those categories? If there is, then you need to edit those categories and say, what's missing, right? Do I need to create another category? It could be 6, right? It could be, it's okay if it is. That covers that other thing. So the idea is to, sometimes that's what I do. I'll ask someone, hey, write down everything you want to teach, everything that comes to mind. Talk to someone that you've helped in the past. And then from that, or grab a list of all the different PDFs you created in the past. You might already have them organized. And then from that, then we're going to organize them into categories. And then name it, right? What's my name of my success path? Is it the super fit success formula? Is it the business achievers roadmap? Name it, right? So name your success path. Just like we did ours. We have one, actually. We covered this at the beginning of this training. We have the Dream Builder's Blueprint. And what are the steps? Dream, deliver, invite, nurture, and grow. So just like I'm not making this up. We actually did this for ourselves. Just like I'm asking you to, we did it. And I've done it multiple times for different people as well. Here's one we made as a sample. If let's say you were a dog trainer, maybe in the training that you're covering, there's 5 pillars, or maybe there's steps. Maybe it's association. I'm not going to go through all of them all, but consistency, repetition, reinforcement. I know we have some dog trainers, so feel free to copy it. I don't care, and fix it and correct it if it could be better. Maybe 5 is maintenance, right? So this is a sample of what it would be for a dog trainer. It's different for a fitness instructor, and they don't necessarily have to be in order. They could be like we call them pillars, right? That hey, they don't necessarily go in a certain order, but those are the 5 categories of training or steps that they need to or topics they need to master to have that kind of transformation. So those are the 2 things that I'm giving you today. And if you really want to focus on this, go ahead and do those offline. If you feel like you need to either ask a question down the road in this video or join our group, we're going to tell you how to join our group in a minute. And ask there, feel free to do that. I'll be happy to jump on a 15-minute call with you and help you get going as well. There's more information on that in our community now, and I'll let you know how to join us in a minute. But the 2 things are the journeys. There should be 3 or 4 different journeys you're creating for your ideal client, 1. And 2, your success path. What is that? Those are the 2 things I think you really need to do before you decide to launch that VIP coaching program or any offer for that matter. So again, reminding you of the training agenda. Next week, we're going to cover the launch, different launch options. And then the week after that, the free session strategy. But if you haven't watched last week's, go ahead and watch last week's. That would be part 1. This will make a little more sense, I think. moving forward. But if not, if you have, great. Then we'll see you next week. But before you get going, I know I've been talking about planning this whole thing out. Usually, when I help somebody launch a program, we go through all this first before we start building the actual sales page, the actual members area, maybe a group for the community. But I'm going to show you real quick what we use here with 22 Store. What 22 Store is all about, really, it's a software. We're not a training company. We just do this because we know the better you do with understanding how to launch your offers, the better you're going to do with our software, and the happier you're going to be, and everybody wins. So, but we're actually a software company, and it really all starts with a free Facebook business page. Really, it's probably the best system you're going to get anywhere online, especially for free. Easy to set up and customize and manage, and it allows you to connect custom apps. And that's the way we're doing it now. Is you could either share what we call a smart link, and I'll cover what that is in a second, into as a post. You can put a link to it on the about section, the button below the cover image. You can even put it in the description or even type it up in the cover image as well. And this is how it starts. This is the vanilla version of a 20 Social app when you first create it, and you can choose your colors, fonts, and layouts. Is this moving? Or use one of our templates so you don't start from scratch, and just customize with text, images, videos, and more. And see just some examples of what some other people have created. And each install comes with a mobile-friendly smart link that you can share. So it all works whether they're on desktop or they're on mobile. You know what? This is weird. These slides weren't supposed to be here. That's weird. I think I made a mistake. Okay. So with our apps, there's 3 ways to restrict content. The first way is free lead generation, so that they're going to become a lead. You're going to collect a name and email and their Facebook profile, actually, in exchange for them getting a free download, or free video, a webinar registration, a contest, maybe a sweepstakes. The second way is a one-time payment, so they can pay you for a class, and maybe an online course or ebook, one-on-one coaching, a masterclass, or a webinar. And the last one, the most popular one, is recurring payments, so membership subscription, which is going to be actually one of the ways you're going to launch your coaching program that I'm going to talk about next week. But yeah, so that's the most part. Most people actually go with that option. And of course, you could do the one-time a course or something else, or lead magnets once you're further ahead in your marketing. So this is how the whole system works. You can share the link anywhere, the smart link I told you about, and an image and text are preloaded anywhere on Facebook and different places online, and you can change that setting in the system. When somebody clicks through, they'll be shown what we call the gate, or your sales or opt-in page, and they can click to sign up. Once they've clicked, they'll confirm their email and agree to the terms and hit continue. If there is a payment at this point, they'll be asked for their credit card information or their PayPal, or go to PayPal. And once they've done that, they'll see what we call the main content or members area, and that means they're registered successfully. And you'll get their name and email on their Facebook profile, and you can easily view and manage all the members in what we call the SRM, or Social Relations Manager. And also, if there is a payment involved, there'll be links to either the PayPal or Stripe, so you can manage them there as well. So we do work with PayPal or Stripe. We also work with a number of different autoresponders, like your Aweber, MailChimp, Constant Contact, ActiveCampaign. I think it's about 10 or 15 of those that you can choose from, so that if you do want to run an email campaign, you can do that as well. And this is by far one of the most famous features that we have. It's called 20 Social Connect. We do have a Chrome extension. It does require Chrome on a desktop, but when you have it all set up and you hit start, while you're anywhere inside a Facebook group, okay, if you're including a Facebook group with your membership, this is especially handy. What it does is it color codes the names of members right in the group. You don't have to go back through 20 Social to check to see if someone's paid or not. You can if you want to, but most people prefer to do it this way. If someone's not green, they're not supposed to be in the group, and you're free to remove them, or if they're requesting access, excuse me, they're requesting access, and they're not green, you know that they haven't paid. So you can simply send them a message right from Facebook and say, hey, looks like you haven't signed up yet. Here's a link to sign up, or just reject the request if you want to do that. It's up to you. But if they're green, you can let them right in. This is by far what people love the most about working with our software, is that since we use Facebook login, you don't have to check back and see, hey, looks like uh, Diane's requesting access, but what's her name on PayPal? Oh, it's XYZ company on PayPal. Well, how would I know that, right? So it becomes a real mess to manage. But since we use Facebook login, it makes it really easy to cross match that, and we do it for you. All you gotta do is look at the color, and you're good to go. And if you don't like those colors, you can customize it with any color that you want. If you want to use green and blue and pink, you can definitely do that. But those are part of the settings. So that's probably one of the uh, most popular features with our system, because we make it so much easier to work with a Facebook group. And ultimately, what we want to see happen is for you to get a bunch of notifications every day on your email saying you got a new payment from either a new member or a member that's renewed monthly. And this is one of our users, Irish, who's been using the system for years now. So we want that to happen to you. We want that to be really the outcome of you building that dream. So becoming a dream builder, we do have free weekly training. You're watching it now. We go live every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific or 6 o'clock Eastern. And we give you basically strategies on how to grow that business, right? That online business, to build that dream. But if you do sign up to become a dream builder, this is the perks you're going to get. You're going to get an extended free trial of the software that I just went through right now. You're going to get a free blueprint crash course of the pillars that I went to earlier that are going to go all the way from dream all the way to grow. So we have a nice crash course that you can consume quickly. We have access to the community. I told you, if you wanted help with your journeys, or you want to help with your success path, you're more than welcome to share what you're working on there, and I'll be happy to give you feedback on the community. Also, if you want to book a call with me, quick 15-minute call to get you, if you're curious as to couple of things, there's a lot we can do in 15 minutes. There is a link in the community for you to book that. And we do have weekly sweepstake prizes. We're going to go through that in a minute. We're going to actually announce the winner. And if you want to be a dream builder, I want you to build that dream. So go to tutues.com/dream. I don't know if the link can be any easier, but go ahead and do that. What's cool about that link is that you also see how our registration system works. So you'll know, hey, if I build something with the software, this is ultimately what my users are going to experience. So that'll help you understand that a little better. So we want to see you on the other side. If anything, we'll see you next week with that next week's training with part 3. We got some options for you to launch that VIP coaching program for you. And before I go, I got something else for you. We do have, as part of being a dream builder, you do have access to a bundle, which includes 2 things. Not a crash course, but the full-on Dream Builders Blueprint course that we put together easily that go through every step in detail, plus a year of 20 Social software. So if you're ready to build it big, there is a bundle. You just go to the same link. You'll have our best price link right there for you to upgrade to the bundle and get both a year of the software and also the course on top of that. So check that out there. And then we're going to announce the winner. I think Margot is going to announce the winner today.
Thank you, Rene. Yes. And this week's winner is, let me just wait, Kathleen Abbott. Congratulations, you have won the 22 Social Dream Builder bundle. And congratulations,
Thank you, Margot.
Kathleen.
And she's from San Diego. I was like, do I know her? But I don't. So no, it wasn't one of my friends. I promise. I didn't. Margot picked the winner, so I didn't. So no,
Is
it's
it
not.
San Diego so small?
San Diego has 1 million people, I think, in the whole area. But anyway, so I don't know, Kathleen,
Exactly, I know.
hey, maybe we're neighbors and I don't even realize it. But congrats, and I'm really excited to see what you're gonna build. And I'm not sure what your expertise is, but whatever it may be, you have a year of the software, and you also have the course. Message your Facebook page, and let us know so we can activate this for you. Or if you simply want to go to the link in parentheses m.me/22social, that'll take you right to message us to help you get going. And again, I'm going to remind you, if you want to become a green builder of all the perks that we have, simply go to 22s.com/stream. And we'll see you guys. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. And we'll see you guys next week. I didn't even turn on my light. That's why I look so weird. Today was just a tech issue.
Hey, Renee, I'd like to remind you,
Oh.
we have some comments from Elizabeth and Dottie. Elizabeth says they are the
Thank you.
best.
I'm not sure what
Can
you're
you see it
referring
now?
to, but thank you, Elizabeth. I think you have another comment. If you want it, and then marking, these are the guys. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. And then Betty says, great ideas. I almost missed it. Thank you, Margo. Thank you. Thank you, Dottie. Dottie's doing so well with the last launch she had. And I think she's working on another one. Oh, yeah, she is. I have a new summit I'm doing, 28th and 9th. That's the link. Great. So if you want to check out what Dottie's doing, that'd be a great link. Her launches are always a success. So I think it's worth to check out for sure. Thank you, Dottie.
Congratulations.
Thank you. With that, we'll see you guys next week and next year. Actually, so
yeah, next year. Happy New Year for everybody.
Exactly. And so this is the last live of the year, and it's halfway through our gift training that we're giving you for the year, and we'll finish the last second half next year. So great, awesome. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.